You know the feeling, right? That shiny new phone drops and all of a sudden, the one in your pocket feels like a dinosaur. But what if I told you that that constant need to upgrade is secretly costing you, I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars in future wealth? It's wild. So let's really break down the real cost of a $1,000 phone.
And yeah, that is a bold question. But in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and see how that seemingly small choice, just upgrading your phone, might actually be sabotaging your shot at building real, lasting wealth. It's kind of sneaky.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the trap itself. Because that's exactly what it is. It's this perfectly designed illusion meant to keep us running on a financial hamster wheel. You know, always chasing the next new shiny thing, but never actually getting anywhere. And the amount of money behind this is just staggering. We're talking billions of dollars spent by the tech industry for one single purpose: to convince you that your 2-year-old phone is basically a useless brick. They are absolute masters of psychology. They bombard us with ads and messages that make us feel like our current phone is totally inadequate. They blur the lines so well that what we want starts to feel like something we desperately need.
And boy, are we good at helping them out by justifying it to ourselves, right? We say things like, oh, I really need it for work, or, oh, the battery is getting so weak, or my personal favorite, but the new camera is just so much better. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Most of the time, we're not actually solving a problem. We're just looking for that little hit of excitement, that dopamine rush you get from unboxing something brand new.
All right, so let's push all that marketing fluff aside for a second and get down to the brutal math, because this is where things get really interesting. This is where we find out what that upgrade is truly costing you.
So to really get this, we have to talk about something called opportunity cost. And trust me, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this concept. It's probably the most important idea in all of personal finance. All it means is that when you choose to spend your money on one thing, you're also choosing not to spend it on everything else. That includes things like, investing it.
And here's the kicker. Choosing to buy that $1,000 phone means you are actively choosing not to invest that same money. You're picking an item that starts losing value the second you take it out of the box. That's a depreciating asset. Instead of putting that money into something that grows over time, like stocks or an index fund, an depreciating asset.
Okay, let's put some real numbers to this. Imagine you just resist. You don't fall for the upgrade trap. You keep your phone for 4 years instead of just 2. Simple, right? Well, by skipping that one upgrade, you've just saved yourself about $500 a year. Now, I know that might not sound like a life-changing amount of money, but just hang on, because this is where the magic happens.
So look at this. That $500 a year can go down 2 totally different roads. Down one road, you buy the new phone, and in a few years, it's worth pretty much zero. Nothing. But down the other road, that same money invested starts to grow. And it doesn't just grow. It grows into a pretty serious chunk of change. And that's all thanks to the power of compound interest.
Yeah, compound interest. It's this incredible force where your money starts making money, and then that money starts making its own money. It's why Albert Einstein supposedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. It is the absolute engine of building wealth. And every single time you make an unnecessary purchase like this, it's like you're yanking the keys out of the ignition before that engine even has a chance to get going.
So what happens if you keep making this one small, smart choice, saving that $500 a year for, say, 30 years? Well, the opportunity cost isn't just a few grand anymore. No, we're talking over $56,000. Just think about what that is. That's a down payment on a house. That's a huge piece of a college fund for your kid. That's a massive boost to your retirement. All of that potential, just gone. Traded away for a series of slightly better cameras and a new color.
Okay, but maybe even 56 grand feels a little abstract, a little far off. So let's try a different way of looking at it. Let's reframe the cost, not in dollars, but in something way, way more valuable. Your life. Your time.
This next part is a really simple, but honestly life-changing mental trick. It's the hourly wage reality check. So here's what you do. First, figure out what you actually make per hour, after taxes, your take-home pay. Then, just look at the price of whatever you want to buy. You divide that price by your hourly wage, and boom, right there. That's the real cost. That's how many hours of your life you have to trade for that thing, and then you have to ask yourself, is it worth it?
Let's use our phone example. Let's say your take-home pay is $20 an hour. That new $1,000 phone, it's not $1,000 anymore. It's 50 hours of your life. 50. That's more than a full work week. That's a week of waking up early, sitting in traffic, dealing with your boss, all that stress, just to earn that phone. And that's the real question, isn't it? Is a slightly faster processor and maybe a cool new color really worth trading an entire week of your time, your energy, and your stress for? When you put it like that, the decision suddenly gets a whole lot clearer. And for most of us, if we're really honest with ourselves, the answer is just no, no way.
Okay, so we've seen the trap, and we've calculated its pretty staggering cost. So now what? Well, now let's talk about the path forward, the way out. This is all about making a mental shift to finally get off that hamster wheel for good and start walking down the path to actual financial freedom.
And really, it all comes down to this difference in mindset. On one side, you've got the broke mindset. It's all about chasing those temporary wants, buying stuff that loses value, looking for that quick dopamine hit. It's about investing whatever's left over at the end of the month, if anything. Then you've got the wealthy mindset. This is about fulfilling actual needs, not wants. It's about buying assets that grow in value. It's about seeking freedom, not fleeting happiness. And crucially, it's about spending what's left over after you invest.
So, the smartest path forward? It's actually pretty simple. Number one, get brutally honest with yourself. Can you tell the difference between something you need and something you just impulsively want? Number two, just hold on to your technology. If it still works, it's not obsolete. Use it. And number three, and this is the most important part, take all the cash you save by doing this and invest it aggressively. Let that money start working for you 24/7.
Which brings us right back to the beginning and to this final question. The next time you feel that pull, that temptation for the latest shiny gadget, just pause and remember that 50-hour price tag. What will your next 50 hours buy? Will it buy you a temporary thrill that loses its value? Or will it buy you a piece of your own financial freedom? It's your time. The choice is yours.